of the
I'm recording this because it's interesting. This is Pompidou, and this would be one of the locations where something is happening. You're building up the stand.
That's a Paris location that I'm dreaming of, where the mayor of the city will be coming, where people will be standing on the slope to watch something that's happening on the right-hand side in front of the Centre Pompidou. And part of that could be, that's my vision. So I saw a Ulysses performance of a composer that was engaging the people from the Berlin Philharmony and very famous actors reading texts with the music. And this is beautiful, very contemporary music. And the composer said he will be able to create a short version of this, showing how Ulysses is departing and fighting against dragons and temptations and all sorts of things. All these old stories that can be condensed into a shorter version of this, and only we need to find an orchestra and some good actors in Paris to do it. This already, and I know people from the orchestra, that is the best orchestra of this kind on the planet, because my brother was working there, and they were playing at his funeral. And so I think it could be made possible, and it would be a sort of a creative flash or a creative spark of connecting the Odyssey, Ulysses, with the concept of bikes and the 400 million. Now, because this is making it big. Now, so that's part one I wanted to share. The second thing is this is the mock-up of the new Creativello. So we have all these little figures here that have something to do with SDGs. Now these are all figures related to the Use for Planet logo. And these are now our activists, and they will be spreading the news. And this is, for example, the Cut Octopus, and so they all have names. I don't remember them all. So this is part of the bike. But what I wanted to show you is this here. So when we start this here in Luxembourg City, it's not filled in yet, but we have the setup. What is then saying, okay, we go from Trier to Cologne to Pulheim to Garzweiler to Eindhoven, Brussels, Ghent, and then maybe to Calais or something in between. I don't know. And the same is happening here: Cattenom, Metz, Reims, Paris, Amiens, and then the bikes meet again in Calais. And from Calais we go via London, Oxford, Coventry, Birmingham, Manchester, Leeds, Sheffield, Newcastle, Edinburgh, and Glasgow. So that's basically the tour. It could be changed when, let's say, when a city like Eindhoven is saying, hello, we're here, we want to be part of this, and we can contribute something that you don't have already. Then this would be great to integrate. And because we can spread the bike, we have 3 bikes, we can take one bike to another city then and run something off the course, actually, easily. So this will be eventually filled in over the course of time. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the organizer who will do that, and she will be then completely engaged in that. That's the reason why we need money. We need money to pay people to actually do concrete stuff. And this will be in Glasgow, the IMAX cinema, where we have a 3-hour slot to run the awards and run a session on this. So we will basically do a talk about COP and youth with film examples over the course of 29 years. And with a moderator who is 14 years old from the US, Mary Copini. So that's another thing that I wanted to share with you, and that's how it will be created. So basically, what we are talking about here is that you have to fill in now the gaps here in Eindhoven and Brussels and say, what will be happening here? What can we see? Who is attached to this? Who is organizing what? Who is now receiving us? Which bike group is receiving us when we enter Eindhoven? So we will be, you will see the complete route of the bikes on the internet. So you can even join a trip from Eindhoven to Brussels and say, okay, I'm co-biking. I will join and follow them, and so to accompany them to have a greater effect. So this is an act of solidarity. So this is what we can attach to it, and I think the more we have here to fill in, the better. And of course, this then will be eventually put into a database, but this is only for overview here.
Yeah, absolutely great. And I can fill that in indeed, but only when the things are concrete, because I'm talking with government, but I'm also talking with the technical university and see if we agreed that we wanted to do the events in open space because of the COVID and those kind of things. Open space. So we're looking at open space. Well, our technical university has a lot of open space, but also has a beautiful young people environment. So that's like complying with the type of stuff. And that is what we want: citizens' participation, young people with government support for facilitation.
Maybe you have a choir in Eindhoven as well.
A choir?
A choir, yeah, that contributes a song.
We have a lot of musicians here. Maybe I can involve. We have Music for Strangers, which also engages with the big technology companies here, which where they normally work, but their passion is with music. We have various big music groups. We have over 1,000 musicians here in the network, and then choirs. Yeah, I can imagine certain choirs.
Well, it doesn't have to be a choir in Eindhoven. So if you have, let's say, a drummer, a great drummer in Eindhoven that is making an impact and giving a 10-minute performance, fantastic. And then we have a choir in Brussels, for example. It doesn't matter. So I think diversity is key here.
Absolutely, yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I can. Since we did this in English, I can share this particular part of our recording also with the musicians and see if they get enthusiastic about it in participating on this and being one of the 400 million, but one which distinguishes himself or herself because of singing or drumming or because of making videos or whatever.
Yeah.
You see, my request was to look for the timeline connected to each station. It does not be exact, but to have a better idea how short it is. Is it really every day, or are there 4 days in Eindhoven? Maybe we can add the potential dates already in the Miro graph.
Yeah, well, this is the question I had too, obviously. How long are we going to be here in Eindhoven? And sometimes it is a discussion, how if we can have volume and be in, but that requires coordination because in each of the places where we stop, we need partners, or we create less stops, hubs, but more intensified.
And make more. Yeah. Well, that's a big question, and I think we cannot resolve that now. But just to answer your question, basically, I think we can host. I just want to show this again. We can host more than one city at once because the idea is to have, we have 3 bikes. We are creating 2 tours through Europe. So we have, on one route, we have 2 bikes. So for example, if the northern route requires 1 bike in, let's say, Amsterdam, and another one in Eindhoven at the same time, we can do that.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
So
You have more time.
only we need a transportation, so we can't ride all the way up to Amsterdam, but we can create a performance in Amsterdam or in any other city that is open to this kind of connection. But we need a transportation device. We need to set up people, so some place to sleep for the team that is coming with the bikes. Now my microphone is down. Okay.